Allah Ta'ala gives the Prophet ﷺ some really incredible advice. I mean, it's a command, but also, some really incredible advice. فَأَمَّا بِنِعْمَةِ رَبِّكَ. And as for the ni'am, as for the favor of your Lord, as for the blessings of your Lord, فَحَدِّثْ. Proclaim them. Proclaim it. So, Islam is something that we should proclaim. Sure, there are going to be lots of people that don't like Islam. There are people that don't like Islam because it's Islam. There are some people that don't like Islam because it's just religion. There's just some people that don't like religion, period. Whatever the reason, فَحَدِّثْ. Proclaim it. Let Allah Ta'ala deal with them. Because there is something not only beneficial, but even necessary, mulazama, about proclaiming one's faith. Islam was only able to stay quiet for a little while in terms of at the very beginning of the revelation, the Prophet ﷺ had to preach in quiet and in secret, but for a short period of time, it eventually needed to come out. And that's what's healthy for us as Muslims too. Not necessarily, we don't have to walk around with blaring trumpets, but and that doesn't mean that we have to walk around in a thobe or something, because that isn't necessarily Islam. But proclaim your Islam, live it, feel it. This is something important. And then lastly, right, some other considerations is that before Allah Ta'ala really put a lot of things on the Prophet's shoulders, alayhi salatu wasalam, he prepared his heart with solitude. I think again for us, we need to, because we are not the Prophet, alayhi salatu wasalam, we do not have neither his isma, we have neither his infallibility, nor are we divinely propped up with that kind of endurance. And so it can be good to pull back from time to time to recharge ourselves through solitude and reflection. The other thing is that this revelation begins as it ends, which is on a declaration of truths and the integrity of its messenger. So we have to ourselves, throughout the journey of our life and the journey of our Islam, reflect on this commitment to truth and to integrity. And of course, that will involve good character. And by good character, I mean like not just daydreaming, like a sort of daydreaming idea. As I mentioned in the khutbah today, the Prophet ﷺ, and I think I said this last week, the Prophet ﷺ was not a nice person. He was a noble person. This day and age that we live in, it's like what I call the zaman of izala. It's like the age that wants to strip everything away. So we take things like virtue and nobility, and we want to degrade them to just being nice. In many ways, niceness is like, for me, being nice is like being domesticated. And there is a certain part of you as a Muslim that needs to be a little bit feral, that needs to be a little bit wild. I don't mean unruly, but a part of you needs to be indomitable. Because we only worship Allah Ta'ala. And we must not be afraid to speak the truth, stand up to the truth, and also to resist. And resist is not just simply marching in the streets, but also resist the temptation to fall in line with the status quo. Again, we live in a time where, ironically, and this is not all Christians, but certainly popular Christianity, which has become enthralled through popular conservatism, it has embraced meanness. It has embraced meanness and it has been confused and conflated meanness with integrity. This is, of course, ba'id min akhlaq Sayyidina Isa ibn Maryam alayhi salatu salam. This is very far from the character of Jesus Christ. So we need to have good character that has some teeth. The other thing is that we see that the Prophet ﷺ, from the moment of revelation until his passing, he had a heart that was trembling. He had a heart that was reverential, and he had a heart that was experiential. What I mean by this is like right now, we're here in Southern California, we have all this rain, right? The Prophet ﷺ would go out into the rain. And he would say, Allahumma sayyiban nafi'an. Oh Allah, make this rain a beneficial rain. And he would go out and collect the rain with his clothing and his hands and experience it. Allahumma sayyiban hani'an. Oh Allah, make it a wholesome downpour. Allahumma la taqtuluna bi ghadabika. Oh Allah, with this rain, do not take our lives with your anger. Wa la tuhlikuna wa la tuhlikna bi adabik. And don't destroy us, don't punish us, don't destroy us with your punishment. وَعَافِنَا قَبْلَ ذَلِكَ. But instead grant us forgiveness and well-being before that. Allahumma inni as'aluka khayraha wa khayra ma fiha. Oh Allah, I ask you for the good that is in this rain, and the good of it, and the good that is in it. Wa khayra ma ursilat bihi. And I ask you for the good for which it was sent. وَأَعُوذُ بِكَ مِنْ شَرِّهَا وَشَرِّ مَا فِيهَا. And I seek your protection from its evil and the evil that resides within it, within this rain. وَشَرِّ مَا أُرْسِلَتْ بِهِ. And from the evil that was sent with it. So the Prophet ﷺ always had a very sensitive character and a sensitive heart. We have misconstrued constructs of rujula, of manhood, of muru'ah, based upon influencers and criminals that tell us what being a man is: sitting around without a shirt, smoking cigars, dealing in sex trafficking. This is not manhood. Manhood, there is a component of manhood and a place for being strong, tough, resilient. Yes. But there is an important aspect as well to balance that out of being kind-hearted, tender, and gentle. And they're not contradicting, but rather they are supportive of one another. And then lastly, what we learned today, the beginning of the revelation, it really highlights the importance of good company. Who did the Prophet ﷺ run home to? Did he run home to Abu Talib? Did he run home to Ali? Did he run home to Abu Bakr? No, he ran home to his wife. He ran home to his wife. Having good company and a good partner, extremely important. So, inshallah, I hope this will give us some things to contemplate on and give us something to aspire to. I think, ending with this, we have a tendency to want to always live by epiphany. And so when somebody speaks, when a scholar, imam, whoever, gives a talk, the tendency is, we're always looking for something astounding. So, almost like we want to live vicariously through their words. Well, number one, خير الكلام كلام الله وخير الهدي هدي محمد صلى الله عليه وسلم. If you really want to be inspired by speech, read the Quran because it is the best speech. And if you really want to be inspired by the best example is Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. So the very best that I or any other human being can do is point you in that direction. But it's ultimately still upon you and me to do the necessary work to be inspired. It's not my job, or perhaps not even within my pay grade, to inspire you. If I were to say, or another person says something that inspires you, one, this is a gift from Allah. Two, it means that you have done something right in order to receive that, to be inspired. That's what I meant before about, we need a different type of character that is beyond daydreaming. And so I mentioned in the khutbah today that the Prophet ﷺ, Allah addresses him in the Quran in this passage in Surah Al-Hajj. وَمَا أَرْسَلْنَا مِن قَبْلِكَ مِن رَسُولٍ وَلَا نَبِيٍّ إِلَّا إِذَا تَمَنَّى أَلْقَى الشَّيْطَانُ فِي أُمْنِيَّتِهِ فَيَنْسُخُ اللَّهُ ما يلقي الشيطان ثم يحكي الله آياته إن الله عليم حكيم. That Allah Ta'ala said, and that we have never sent a messenger or a prophet before you, Muhammad, except that when they spoke to the people, Shaitan came and played upon their passions and desires so that they heard what they wanted to hear and they received what they wanted to receive. But Allah Ta'ala ultimately comes and does away with this, abrogates this, cleanses this, and then Allah Ta'ala makes clear His revelation, because Allah Ta'ala is authoritative and all-knowing. And that Allah Ta'ala says, why do we even allow this to happen? لِيَجْعَلَ مَا يُلْقِي الشَّيْطَانُ فِتْنَةً لِلَّذِينَ فِي قُلُوبِهِمْ مَرْضٌ. We do this so that people that have something wrong inside themselves, those that have not done the right homework, that it will be a fitna, it will be a problem, a source of misguidance for those whose hearts are sick. فِي قُلُوبِهِمْ مَرْضٌ وَالْقَاسِيَةِ قُلُوبُهُمْ. And so as thus their hearts have become hard. وَإِنَّ الظَّالِمِينَ لَفِي شِقَاقٍ بَعِيدٍ. Those people, they will be always mixed up. They will always be split. But those that have received the truth, وَلِيَعْلَمَ الَّذِينَ أُوتُوا الْعِلْمَ وَأَنَّهُ الْحَقُّ مِنْ رَبِّكَ. But those that have really done their homework, those that have been given correct knowledge by Allah Ta'ala, and those that have really done the homework, they will know that it is the truth from their Lord. فَيُؤْمِنُوا بِهِ. And they will believe in it. فَتُخْبِتَ لَهُ قُلُوبُهُم. And their hearts will become soft and humble and God-fearing. We got to do our homework. Stop looking for the next reel or the YouTube video or the khutbah or the Imam or the scholar to make your Islam viable for you. They can be a tool at the most, right? على أشد أنا آلة أو فائدة. At the most, I'm like an instrument, a tool. And that goes for anybody. You got to do your own homework to make this religion meaningful for you. You cannot live vicariously through people online. Even if you attend the majlis, which you should, go to the majalis of ulum, go and sit, go learn, study with scholars, but at the end of the day, you still got to do your own homework.